This video is part of a series where I browse the freelance subreddit, my favourite place on the internet, to find posts from freelancers asking for advice about a problem that could be solved if they had insurance. I spend a lot of time on the freelance subreddit just reading people's stories, and because freelancers aren't really aware of the benefits of being insured, which is why this channel exists, it means that the freelance subreddit has become an echo chamber of poor advice. Now, the community on there does try to be helpful, but because there isn't a lot of information out there about how insurance can help freelancers, which is our fault, it's the fault of the insurance companies, it means that there are a lot of stories on here where having insurance could have solved everything. So I found one here. The title is "In Major Trouble with a Client." And it's quite a long read, but the developer was hired to build an e-commerce system for a client. It sounds like there weren't an awful lot of boundaries to begin with, a lot of late nights and hassle in the freelancer's words, and being expected to be available for communication 24/7. So that in itself suggests it wasn't the healthiest working relationship, and there are a few red flags there. But the project was completed and the freelancer was given more and more and more work through this client. Again, there were very few boundaries set. There was no contract in place, there was no spec. It's really important that freelancers get a spec locked down. We've seen claims before due to the spec being misinterpreted by both parties. Anyway, the client ended up being quite unhappy with things, quite angry at the lack of progress being made, and that led to a threat of legal action against the developer. So the client wanted reimbursement of the money that they'd already paid the developer, they wanted compensation for hiring a new developer, and they were even claiming loss of income because of the delay of the project going live. So this is the exact kind of scenario professional indemnity insurance is designed to help with. And I had a quick look at the comments to see if anybody had suggested it, and not one person had. There were a lot of comments from people saying, don't worry, it's just scare tactics. And other people saying, well, now you know to have a contract in place for future work. But how can professional indemnity help with this specific scenario? Well, the freelancer was worried about sourcing legal advice from a lawyer because they couldn't afford one. But if they'd had professional indemnity insurance, which costs around £14 a month, it means that the instance that there was that threat of legal action, they could have went straight to the insurer, provided contracts, communication, any kind of documentation to support the case, and the insurer would have assigned a legal expert to analyse that and decide on the best course of action going forward. And it's not just the legal fees and access to legal experts that the policy provides. In this instance, the client was also seeking compensation for hiring a new developer and claiming loss of income. And it's entirely possible that the damages the client was claiming would have also been covered under the professional indemnity policy, because ultimately professional indemnity is designed to prevent you from suffering a financial loss when a client does make accusations like that.